HTML is the standard markup language for programming languages. This means it is a programming language that describes to your web browser what types of content that it is displaying. It could be displaying paragraphs, it could be displaying buttons, or it could be displaying karate ninjas. You can see by the expertly crafted diagram how this process works. We describe the content in our HTML file. Then the browser reads our HTML file and displays the given content. It's pretty magical. Let's get started coding. Just create a file and save it as index.html. Now we have our HTML file, so write our HTML code. If you have any trouble getting it with the file extension of .html, then maybe try a coding text editor like Sublime or VS Code, which should get you up to speed. Now that we have our code, just open up the file path on your web browser and you should see our website. Congratulations, brothers and sisters, you have now programmed your first website. Congrats! You are officially a web developer. To get even more advanced, we want to officially declare that the code we are writing is HTML code and in particular, HTML version 5 code. HTML is a ceremonial business, so humor the great tradition and announce to the world what our document is, an HTML5 document. We just write on the first line as exclamation point doctype HTML in angle brackets. There we go. Now we need to specify all the code that is our actual HTML code, not the ceremonial declaration. To do this, we need to type out an HTML element. Each HTML element represents an item on the screen. Now, HTML is actually quite similar to the grocery store called Publix in Florida. You see, when I get me a yummy chicken tenders sandwich whipped up, it has a tag with what it is and how much it costs. You can see on the screen my sandwich that I had this morning that I just took a picture of and the tag. You could say this is the sandwich tag with a price of 1 cent. You see what's happening, boss? We have a tag that is specifying what something is. Let's add the sandwich to our website. First, we create a start tag, which specifies the start of our tag. It is just angle brackets with the word sandwich in it to say it's a sandwich. Now we write an end tag specifying the end of our tag and just put the tag name in again. Now we can put content inside of our start and end tag. This is what we call an HTML element, which describes something on the screen. Sorry, that was a lot of terminology, but just replay this over and over again until you remember that we have HTML elements describing things on the screen, which have a start tag, an end tag, and content in the middle. Now let's look at our website and we can see that our sandwich is now on our website. The sandwich tag is a magical tag that only masterful HTML coders can use, but I will now delve into simpler magical tags that commoners can use to summon items on your website. Let's talk about the HTML tag. The HTML is where all of our HTML code goes, except for our ceremonial HTML5 declaration. All we do is make the HTML element. Just put a start tag of HTML, then an end tag for HTML. There we go, now we can put all of our HTML code in there. The next tag is the head tag. This tag is where we put in our metadata. If you look up the word meta on Google, it means something that references itself. In this case, we are talking about the data that describes our data. That sounds confusing, but all this means is that instead of putting paragraphs and images in here, we just put data about our HTML file like its title, its description, some links and styles. This stuff isn't actually going to be displayed, but it is important data about our HTML document. Then we want to also put in a body tag inside the HTML tag. This is where all of our content you can see goes, like text and images. Oh yeah, and I forgot to say that the end tags names start with a /. Also, when we put tags inside of each other, it is common practice to indent them to make things easier to read. Alrighty folks, our website may be blank and sad, but we've already become web developers together and our momentum is building like crazy. Check out the next video to learn even more about HTML.